We need to remember that when a person with dementia leaves a care environment or our interaction with them, when they go home at night, they mightn't remember what they've done or they mightn't remember what we've said, but they will remember how we made them feel.
I love babies. Oh, I could spend hours with them, you know, I could spend the whole day and not worry at all. I love having the kids on.
He was a fireman for 32 years, so he had, you know, so much contact with men, and then suddenly that's cut off when you're not working. And so here it's a men's group, and he just loves it.
They all know and accept him as he is, and they deal with him as Bill. I would be so upset if my husband was belittled or put down just because of his memory problems.
A good friendly mob, and I enjoy being here, seeing other people, the same people all the time, you know.
How's it going, Jim?
I think you have to learn to say things to people with Alzheimer's in a very, very careful way. So there are so many subtle ways that I think carers can speak to people and help them, but it takes a lot of learning, I think.
We can use this one if you like.
And if he says to me occasionally, "Mother," and I smile, and I realise that years ago, right, I would be as he last perhaps remembered his mother. And if you can understand why they're saying these things, it makes it so much easier.
My experience is that even the best intentioned GPs and medical professionals in this area often don't have much knowledge. So this must be an area that I would think GPs need to focus on a little more. It is probably more beneficial to be with people who've actually had the experience.
I mean, one of the fantastic things that they did here at the Mary Chester Centre was to produce the life story. Either a volunteer or somebody would come in and produce a lovely book, not only for people with Alzheimer's, anybody going into hospital, especially somebody aged, if they have something like this and they're learning about the person, that has been just the most incredible thing.
This is why we sing, why we lift our voice.
What they could do just disappears and goes, and they're unable to do it. But singing, for some reason, music and singing absolutely stays with people.
Music builds a bridge, it can't tear down a wall.
I love singing. It makes me happy.
When they come in to us for the day, they can forget they have a memory loss. We're all the same. And whatever happens, we're accepting of anything. And they will often explain how they feel, and sometimes it's done jokingly, sometimes it's quite sombre, and they'll really explain, you know, they trust us. We all, the staff, they all know who we are. We've been in our jobs for years.
I think it's spontaneous as well, and the spontaneity just comes out and people's faces just light up. You know, if they're not feeling well when they get here, by the time they leave, you know, pardon, was I not feeling well when I came? You know, it's really tremendous, absolutely.
It's working with a population that often have lost a lot of verbal skills. Somehow the art and visual and artistic side is still very powerful. It's a very natural, it's a playful thing.
Well, I like the company and everybody's so friendly.
You don't forget it because it's in front of you. So if you look away, it's still there. And for the families as well, because the families often don't realise that their loved one can still do a lot of lovely things. People feel better, they feel more relaxed, they feel more part of the community, and these effects can last apparently up to a week. It's not just the art, it's about the communication, the joy of just sharing and trying funny things out. You know, it's all new to people.
I hope so.
I never thought that it would be dementia, but it was just a relief to to know what it was.
She was 56 when she was diagnosed, yeah. There was something happening with her ability to perceive objects. For example, Glenda would be asking, where's the marmalade? And the marmalade was in a jar right in front of her on the table.
I felt a bit ashamed initially, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, this is not something that I've done deliberately to myself.
I think it's a case of shock, pretty much, and disbelief.
It initially obviously was really dreadful, but as time has gone by and I've been very open about my diagnosis, I tell people, because it could happen to them.
They do say that when a dementia diagnosis is given, that you know who your true friends are, because you will lose friends, because there are people who, for one reason or another, find it difficult to relate to a person with dementia. And
I want people to realise that there is life, you know, and you can still enjoy your life, and that's why I kind of feel really positive about my life at this point.
People with dementia can lead quite a normal life for a long period of time, particularly those with younger onset dementia. There's no need to start, you know, closing down and shutting up the shop just because you've got dementia.
Our children, I'd like to be able to see them get married. Yeah, that would be the ultimate thing for me. Yeah, and I would, yeah. Actually, I'm going to cry thinking about that. Sorry. You know, I've always been an educator, and I still think that I'm educating people by talking about dementia.
Beautiful, resting up there, guys. We do this once a week with people who have Alzheimer's, for example. Just a matter of getting the weights right and getting blood circulation and doing the number of repetitions. It is a pretty good group of people we've got here.
30. A lot of these guys used to do a lot of team sports before, you know, whether it was golf or you know, soccer or anything like that. Some of these guys used to go to the gym as well, so I suppose this is a good opportunity for them to replace what they're missing out on there.
Good work, Jim. Finishing up on that one, mate.
I think we've got to remember that dementia affects only certain functions of the mind, of our cognition. The rest of the person remains intact, and the things that are important to all of us, like purpose, connection, joy, meaning, interaction, those things continue to be important for people with dementia, and we need to remember that in how we structure care and services for them.